What's happening, folks? You're tuned into another episode of Xposure, exposing local talent across Toronto, the GTA, and the rest of the world. I am your host, Isaac, and for today we have one quarter of the 80s favorite baby, Dustin Wareham.
What up, fam?
What's
How
happening?
you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
All right, yeah.
So let's get into it. So tell us, who is Dustin Wareham?
All right, my name's Dustin Wareham, aka DJ D's Nuts. One quarter 80s favorite babies, which is my crew, and between rapping, promoting, DJing, and just doing everything, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get my hands involved in everything, just trying to be someone who's active in the Toronto music and hip hop scene.
No doubt.
For the most part, that's just who I am.
That's great. So how many people are in the 80s baby? 80s favorite baby.
80s favorite babies, that's myself, that's my boy Specs Nathan, that's Ryan PvP, and we just brought our homegirl Stacy Brizzle into the fold, so she's the hostess. And you know, it's a conglomerate of people who just really are about that business, about the industry, and just about growing, growing the scene, the movement. Exactly.
See us fail, then see us succeed, huh? You're black and making money, the greatest of these, huh? We all ain't.
So how'd you get into the music scene?
The music scene, man, just like everybody else, you wake up, you see your friends, your cousins, they're out in the block spinning, doing their thing and whatnot. Breakdancing and beatboxing, that's what everyone was doing when I was a kid, and that's what I wanted to do. So I started doing that, and then around, high school, just after high school, started freestyling with everybody. And, noticed that, not to say that I was that much better than everybody, but people were telling me, okay, you got something, run with it. So I'd run with it as much as I could. And then I went to Trebas. I went to Trebas for music business administration because I wanted to learn the industry, you know what I mean? I want to know what goes on behind the scenes.
Exactly.
So Trebas about, I don't even want to date myself, but like 10 years ago was really where it started for me. And just the help of a lot of people, they helped me start booking shows or, doing things as an artist or a DJ. One of the biggest inspirations, actually I should say two of the biggest inspirations were one, my cousin James. He had a band when I was a kid, straight up full-on rock band. And I dug that a lot. And my boy Jamal Sang. Some of y'all know Jamal Sang out there who might see this. He's a local DJ doing his thing, and he was just someone who I always looked up to.
What are some of the challenges you faced when you got started?
Man, I mean, when I started, there wasn't anywhere in this city where you could book a hip hop show without having to put down a deposit for security. That's a big thing.
That's when it was wild and stuff on the shows too, right?
Yeah, it was wild. So deposits for security, just venues don't want hip hop there. I don't want to say that it was racist or biased.
They're just too stereotypical.
Right. So, even up to 5 years ago, it was hard just locking down these spots. Now these spots are way more receptive, they're open, they want to book with you. As long as you approach them professionally, for the most part, they'll book the spots with you. Just show them that you're about money, you're not about violence, you're not about trouble. That's the main thing that they were concerned with. Now, spots are good, man.
Exactly. Do you have to show them your work while you will approach them and stuff, or?
I mean, kind of, but growing to a level where it's like I've established a working relationship with a few of the promoters and a few of the venues, and they kind of dig that. So the name speaks for itself. And
so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff then.
I haven't had any violence at any of my events yet. If there has been violence, it's been so marginalized that I haven't even noticed it. And that's just in between two people. It's never like a crew clash or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the spots are just more receptive. I think in general, on a whole, Toronto is a lot more receptive to hip hop than they were 5 to 10 years ago. We're making money. Rock bands aren't making as much money as they used to, and hip hop is where the money is. Shout out to Drake for that, man. He made it so that we could get some of that dough.
He raised the bar though, which is why I appreciate him.
He did, and shout out to the people before him. Shout out to Chalks, shout out to Socrates.
You have to shout out the people that laid the foundation.
Ghetto Concepts, Socks. Who else, man? Chaos, Kaden. You know what I mean? Maestro. What, bro? Thank you.
Salute to Maestro, man.
Salute to Maestro. He's the prime minister of this Canadian
He's the reason why there's a rap selection in the Juno Awards too.
You know it.
Yeah. I keep stressing out my wits, so every time she nurses, my C's breaking out with a rash. I'm feeling worthless. A man without a purpose. A lot of people think I'm a star, but to me, I'm still scratching on the surface.
Speaking of hip hop, the DJing, you're also into the DJing part. So can you tell us a bit about that?
okay, where is Bond? So DJing, you know, I do the
How did you
solo
get
thing.
into that though?
Well, that was after my band. So I had a band, it was called 85 East, and it was a straight up hard rock hip hop band.
In this way, we gave it the feelings with usually we flirt. And now we're out trying for a lifetime of hurt. I don't think this will end well. I don't think this will end well.
And we were going hard for about 5 years, playing a lot of shows, Southern Ontario and in Toronto, like every week type thing.
Right.
And what happened was, you know, when we broke up, I had a friend who was she was a bartender, you know, and a promoter at a few spots in the city. Shout out to my homegirl Tina.
Right.
And she called me one day. She's like, "Yo, come DJ at my bar." And I'm like, I don't even know if I could do that.
Right. Was this before you learned how to DJ or after?
You know, I always knew how to kind of DJ, you know what I mean? Because you come up, you go to parties and, you know, you come up with a black family. You always got records,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
No
So
doubt.
I had records in my house, so I know how they work. But, you know, by no means was I ever a great DJ. But I just wasn't really sure, and I was really depressed after my band broke up. And she gave me an opportunity to come through to her bar, and, you know what I mean? I started DJing, and I just started using little rudimental things like virtual DJ, which is just free software, and just started messing around with that. And it was fun. It was
Right.
addicting, you know. So then I started doing house parties that all my boys were having, and that was just as fun as addicting. They start, you know, paying me in little things like, oh, here's a couple drinks and you know whatnot. Give me little $2 tips. End of the night, I'd walk away and have like $40 and like, you know,
That's good.
and like dough from my boys. So I'm like, all right.
It's good for starters too. no
Yeah,
matter what.
exactly. So I got really into that and really dug it. And from there, I just upped my gear and upped the time and just started searching out other spots and, you know, hitting them up, DJing there. Now I DJ for like a couple artists. So shout out to like Ill Vibe, shout out to Capital E, Dollars a DJ, you know, a few of these dudes. So I started doing the DJing and you know, that's when I came up with the concept of 80s favorite babies as
Okay.
well. It's like, you know, let's represent the culture, let's represent a name, let's represent a vibe and a feeling. And hip hop really came into its own in the 80s.
Sure, exactly.
You know what I'm
That's when it
saying?
started to develop himself too.
Right, you know, and I'm born in the 80s, so it just
Right.
makes sense. Like 80s favorite babies, you know, brought a partner in to help me out with that. And we just been getting bigger spots and, you know, bigger venues,
That's
bigger
live.
shows. And, you know, we don't just do hip hop, you know, we'll DJ a top 40 party, we'll DJ a rock party. You know, it depends what you want. Like, I love
Right.
music. I don't just.
You
just
could DJ
constantly-
any type of music too?
Yeah, man. If like, honestly, if you said, yo, we need a heavy metal DJ, me and my boy could do that just because we like music that much
Right.
that we don't just discriminate and
Yeah,
listen to
that's
hip hop.
deep, man. That's
Yeah,
deep. That's
top
what
40.
most people appreciate too. No
Yeah,
doubt.
man. Yeah, you know, and that's how you know your samples and whatnot. So that's how I really got into the DJing, and for the most part, people just dug it. People liked it, and you know, that's been about 3 years strong doing that.
Okay.
And just going hard with that, and to be honest, it gives me a second income. You know what I mean?
No
More
doubt.
importantly, actually less importantly, but you know, on the side, a great side note, a second income, pat the pockets a little bit. You can't
sure.
go wrong with that. It's
And you
legal
can
money.
diverse too. No doubt.
Exactly. Legal hustle money. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Events that you've DJ'd at.
Man, I did Wakestock last summer. So summer 2013, I did Wakestock with my boy. His set out there. I've done like the Barry Hip Hop Fest with my boy Ill Vibe, same guy. Then I put on my own show. So I got a monthly event called Basement Wasted at 751.
Right.
I do that every month, and I put local artists on that. I have live that I just did this Saturday at Nocturne, and that was a bunch of local artists. You know, I've done like Tattoo Rock Parlor for like May the 4th. I don't know if you know what May the 4th is, if you're a
No,
Star
it's
Wars
not.
fan.
No, not
All right, so
really.
May the 4th every year, it's a day if you're a Star Wars fan. It's like May the 4th be with you, and they have a bunch of people come in like Star Wars outfits.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I've done that, and usually in the city, about 4 or 5 different May the 4th parties on the 4th of May every year.
Okay.
And it's all dedicated to Star Wars.
Cause I'm young and I'm black, I get my ass real low. Cause I'm young and I'm black, I get my ass real low.
What messages do you get across in your music?
I mean, with the music, you know, like I chose my government name, Dustin Wareham, as my MC name. DJ D's Nuts is my DJ name. But I want to keep it real. And there's no easier way to keep it real than choosing your government name when you're making music.
Exactly.
Right? So when you're making music and you have your real name, that's what it is. And it's just be real, be yourself. Don't be afraid to, you know, burst the bubble and just be true to who you are. And, you know, always say something about the community. You know what I'm saying? It could be negative,
sure.
it could be positive, but be about change in a positive manner.
Exactly. Also, do you have any projects that you've worked on that you're proud of?
Just working on my solo EP right now. You know, as far as myself, just working on my solo EP, And you know, everything I'm involved in, I'm kind of proud of. You know what I mean? But working on my solo EP and just working on booking shows here in Toronto for a lot of these local dudes, and you know, growing the scene, man. That's what I'm about more than anything.
Dustin, it's been a pleasure having you on our show.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. Keep doing your thing, man. Brother, anytime you need me, I'll be here, man.
No doubt. Also, folks, we reached a time where we have to wrap up the show. So I'm Isaac. On behalf of everybody else here on Xposure, we're signing out.